Hello, I'm Mark Jackson at St. Andrew's Lutheran Church in Matamidi, Minnesota. Glad to share a peer ministry moment that I remember actually from more than 20 years ago when I was a youth minister in Spokane, Washington. I did peer ministry with a couple of groups over a number of weeks. And one of those young people that I remember being involved was Kendra. Kendra was a high school senior, very involved in our youth program and in the life of the congregation. And she was an athlete. She was a distance runner, cross country in the fall, and in the track and field events in the spring, the 1 and the 2 mile races. I went to her district track meet where she was running the 2 mile, as I recall. And this was the qualifier for the state meet for her school division, AA, I think it was. The group is all there together. The gun goes off, the pack goes out, and they start to kind of settle in, after a lap or two, but they kind of start to spread out. And by about the second lap, you could see that one of her teammates was very much behind the rest of the group and for whatever reason was running much, much slower. Not sure the reason, but she definitely was running much slower and the pack was moving around, kind of leaving behind this young woman. So much so that by about the 6th or 7th lap, the rest of the group had passed this young woman by, and she was at least, a full lap behind everybody else. Well, they go, and the rest of them kind of are making their way. The front runners were in the 7th lap, and then they go into that 8th lap, and of course down that back stretch they just start pouring on the gas, and they, start giving it all they got. Round the corner, and whoever was there at the end, I don't remember if Kendra was out front or in this pack of kids, but she just like a rocket, just shoots out and comes down that home stretch, crosses the finish line, wins the race, sets a personal record, and sets the school record, breaks the school record. Well, we're all celebrating, the grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, some friends are in the stands. We're just, celebrating. You look down, kids, some of them are laying on the ground, panting, doubled over, catching their breath, some celebrating that they had made it to the state meet, whatever. And we're looking in this sea of kids like, where's Kendra? Where's Kendra? Somebody says, well, there she is. And they point down. We look down, and she was just jogging to the end on the far end where the backstretch comes into that final corner, to where her teammate was, the one who was running much slower. Kendra in the grass alongside the track, just next to and slightly behind this teammate, makes her final way around that last corner and down this home stretch. And you could hear Kendra saying, good job, keep it up. You're almost there. You've almost finished. I'd still choke up thinking about it as she runs with this, next to this, teammate who crosses the finish line and then finishes the race for herself. Many, I think, had forgotten that she was still in the race or that there was still somebody that was there. This athlete who sets a personal record in her senior year and qualifies for the state meet, instead of celebrating or recovering, is there being a peer minister to her friend, bringing that encouragement and being that friend and supporter and mentor and coach to her teammate. That's when I knew that peer ministry was making a difference, that our kids were looking beyond themselves and to have their eyes and ears and their antennas up to the needs of others. By the way, a fun story is Kendra did go to the state meet where she ran the 3,200 meter, set a personal record, set her new school record, and set the state record for that event in her division that year. So that's just the story that I remember, where peer ministry moved from just a conversation we had to making a difference in the lives of our young people in their day-to-day interactions with others. Thanks for hearing my story.